Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about a newer brand called Merit. So I do want to disclaim that these products were kindly gifted to me, but I am not being paid. This is not sponsored. I don't have any obligation to post, but I received these products. So of course I do want to share them with you, do a demo, let you see how the products look, and specifically on acne-prone skin. Maybe some of you who have a similar skin type want to know how these products look on acne-prone skin, if they sit well on textured skin. So if you have a similar skin type to me, hopefully you'll find this helpful. And even if you don't have acne-prone skin, hopefully you'll still find this video helpful. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into demoing the products. All right, so I have you all zoomed in so you guys can see up nice and close to my face. You can actually see what this foundation looks when it is being applied. So I'm gonna start off with their foundation stick. Of course, actually on their website, they say that this is not a foundation or a concealer, but it's supposed to replace both of them. So basically, it sounds like it's supposed to be a two-in-one type of product. You can use it for your foundation and your concealer. This is called the Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. I have this in the shade Ochre, which is described as a light medium with warm undertones. It says it's designed in place of all over coverage so you can make small edits only where you need them. It says that it is a lightweight hydrating formula that wears throughout the day without settling into fine lines. It's supposed to give buildable light to medium coverage that stays breathable all day. So we're gonna see how this looks on acne-prone skin. We're gonna see if this actually does build up to medium coverage. Again, I have this in the shade Ochre, and I'm just gonna kind of draw lines all over my face. All right, now that I have these stripes all over my face, let me put a little on my nose. This is their brush number 1. It says, use it to blend your complexion products and you won't be able to tell where your skin and your makeup meet. So we're gonna test this out. I will say this brush is super, super soft. Really, really nice brush. But I'm definitely not a brush person. I normally will use a sponge. And if you watch my channel, you already know that. Alright, so with initially using this, I almost feel like most of the product is going into the brush because I feel like it's not covering up much. Again, this is supposed to be a light to medium coverage, so it may just be that it's just a light coverage, but it almost looks like it's just getting into the brush, and a lot of it might not be staying on my skin. I have like these like dry patches. Okay, so definitely with initial application, that did not provide much coverage at all. It almost feels like it provided no coverage. Looking at the brush, I almost just feel like so much of the product just got picked up in the brush. So I'm gonna try to apply more and just like blend it out with my fingers, see how that goes. And since this is supposed to be a concealer as well, I'll just take some under the eyes as well. I'm just gonna blend a little with my fingers to see. Yeah, okay. Just dabbing with my fingers. Hope you guys can see that's definitely keeping the coverage much, much better. Now I will probably try to go over this with a sponge and maybe that will work well. This is definitely keeping the coverage much better than the brush, although I will say I might like that brush for other products because it is super soft and just feels really, really nice. But it might just not be the best for applying the foundation if you do want more coverage, because it didn't seem to keep the coverage very well. So now I'm just gonna go over everything with a sponge to make sure it's all blended out. Now that I used my fingers to kind of apply it to get more coverage, it definitely gives more coverage, and I will say I really like how this looks. Looking up close, it doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look cakey. I feel like it just looks really It looks natural on the skin. I mean, obviously, if you look up close, you can probably tell that you're wearing a foundation. But in general, I feel like it still looks like my skin. And it's providing some good coverage, and it's not really dewy. It's also not really matte. Now, honestly, I don't always have the best luck with like cream foundations like this, or like stick foundations like this, I should say. But just because they can look more cakey. But this honestly is looking pretty good. Like up close, again, it does not look heavy. And it feels really lightweight on the skin as well. So I definitely agree with that claim where it says it's gonna feel lightweight. And I do think it definitely built up to more coverage. I do have a lot of hyperpigmentation to cover up. I definitely feel like this can be built up to a medium coverage. Right now, I definitely think that it is giving about a medium coverage. So I'm gonna try to build it up a little bit, especially like on those areas where I do have hyperpigmentation. So I'm just gonna apply it to those specific places, even though I know that's a lot on my face. But then this spot right here, I think it might be from overexfoliation. It's basically just like a red, like dry patch, which is fun. I'm gonna use my fingers again to apply this because I feel like just using my fingers is definitely working the best. It works better than the brush and better than the sponge, I would say. So honestly, I feel like go for using your fingers for this. I know it's probably more time consuming, but I feel like this is definitely giving it the best look. Almost dries to like a somewhat like powdery feeling. Like I'm just gonna take a little bit down my neck, and I'll just blend this one out with the brush. This brush is super soft though, I will say that. It's a really, really soft brush. Also, I think that this shade Ochre worked perfectly for me right now. Next up, we have the Flush Balm. This is a cheek color, and it is described as a cream tint that melts into skin for lit from within color that stays flush all day. I have the shade Terracotta, which is described as a warm cream. It is recommended for fair to medium skin tones, and I picked this shade because I feel like it goes really well with the lip color shade that I picked out, which of course I'll show you later. So here is what it looks like. I think the packaging is pretty interesting on this one. Now I'm sure you could just apply it like that if you want. Looks like a very like on the go type of product. It's small, so it'd be great for traveling. So I'm just gonna take my finger and just apply it like this. Oh wow. So it almost feels like oily once you're swatching it and then applying it. Like it's very, very luminous. Let me read a little bit more about it. So it's a foolproof, flexible balm that deposits a creamy, transparent veil of color to let your skin show through. Okay, definitely I can see where it's coming from with that transparent veil, because it is definitely not very pigmented at all. Honestly, I can barely see it right now, so I'm definitely gonna wanna apply some more. It also says microfine pigment powders deposit a touch of color without covering up natural skin texture. Light balmy finish leaves a long-lasting glow that's never cakey. It says it's low weight, emollient, won't clog pores, vitamin E conditions the skin. Okay, so yes, definitely very, very transparent. I'm gonna try to like build up a little bit more coverage. Not coverage. I'm gonna try to build up a little bit more color. So there you guys can see a little bit of that pigment, but it's definitely like pretty transparent like it says. So I feel like this is perfect for if you want that like very no makeup look, just that really glowy look with just a ever little bit hint of a color. This would be great for summer, just like glowy, very minimal makeup. I feel like this would be perfect for that. If you do want a blush that has more pigment, it's probably not gonna be one that you're gonna want, or this is probably not gonna be one that you're gonna like. But if you like a very just minimal, a little bit of hint of a color, something that's gonna look glowy and just really natural, I think that you'll probably like this. It's very balmy, kind of oily feeling. So definitely put that into consideration as well. If you have oily skin, this might not be one that you would like, because it definitely is like very like dewy looking. It definitely has a bit of an oily feeling on the skin, but I feel like this would just be great for that no makeup look during the summer where you just want to look super natural and just add a little bit of a glow and a hint of color to the cheeks. Also, they do have 5 shades in this, so there are 4 other shades to choose from besides this one. All right, so next let's go ahead and move on to their highlighter. This is called the Day Glow, which is a highlighting balm. I have this in the shade Bounce, which is a rose gold shade. I was gonna go for the shade Cava, which is a champagne shade, but when I did pick these out, Cava was sold out. So again, this is the shade Bounce, which is a rose gold shade. So there's what that packaging looks like. It says, made for daytime, this highlighter gives a dewy, balmy sheen with 0 sparkle. So it sounds like this is gonna be kind of similar to the Flush Balm, except for this one is a highlighter. So yes, again, it has that like oily feeling. It's very like, just very minimal. It's just like barely showing up, but definitely like gives like a dewy glow to the skin. Yeah, like you can tell. Like it looks very dewy. It doesn't have any glitter. It doesn't have any glitter to it. It says it's a translucent moisturizing highlighter that illuminates skin for that fresh morning dewdrop on a flower petal sheen. Vitamin rich base replenishes moisture for a dewy glow that lasts beyond makeup. Plant-based squalane locks in hydration, conditions skin, and supports elasticity. It also has olive fruit oil to nourish the skin with monounsaturated fatty acids and vitamin E, a known antioxidant. Phytosterol and amino acid blend help to minimize moisture loss and promote healthy skin barrier function. I'll apply a little bit more, get a little bit closer so you guys can see it a little bit better. But this just like, I feel like it just barely shows up. Definitely like very like oily feeling. Again, this is probably gonna be like something that you would love if you like that just like super natural, glowy, no makeup look. And if you don't mind like cream makeup that looks very dewy, I feel like you'll really like these. But if you don't like dewy looking makeup, then you're probably not gonna like these because these are definitely very, very dewy. It's not very pigmented at all. Really basically just leaves like a dewy sheen. Next up, let's talk about their brow product. It's called Brow 1980. It's a volumizing pomade. I have this in the shade Blonde, which is described as blonde with cool undertones. It says, a nod to the brows of the 80s. This pomade adds color and volume for healthy, fluffy arches. So what it is, it says it is a tinted, flexible pomade that shapes and grooms your brows into place for natural, bold arches, made with a mineral-based formula to provide flexible, all-day hold that never smudges or flakes. And it has nourishing vitamin B5 to add flexibility and encourages fuller looking brows. Kaolin clay and mineral pigments build a natural looking color, and a tapered precision brush makes it easy to coat every hair. All right, so this packaging is so pretty. This is it has a really pretty gold packaging, and it has kind of that regular like applicator that you've probably seen on a lot of like brow gels. I honestly was not expecting to be very impressed just because it is a brow gel, and normally brow gels just don't really give me as precise of a look as I want. Obviously, I mean, this could be a little bit more precise, but I feel like this looks more precise than a lot of the brow gels that I've used. And I feel like this color works really well. If you normally go for like a taupe shade, I feel like the shade Blonde will work well for you because I feel like this matches my natural eyebrow color really well, and it just looks similar to a lot of like taupe shades that I have. So if that's a shade that you normally go for, I would suggest going for the shade Blonde. But yeah, I like how this looks. I'll definitely have to test this out more, see if it kind of like helps to hold the brows in shape, but I like how it applied. Super quick and easy to apply, and I feel like it just filled them in really nicely. And I don't know, the shape of this worked really well. I mean, I feel like the shape of this isn't different than a lot of brow gels out there. Like, it has a very similar applicator, but I don't know, I feel like that just worked really well, especially this brow. I feel like this brow just kind of like, I feel like it just kind of like helped shape it a little bit more too, which I feel like normally brow gels don't really do. I don't know, maybe this isn't doing a whole lot different than other brow gels, but I don't know, I I didn't know it was gonna work as well as it did, and I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from this, just because, again, brow gels don't normally like give me as precise of an eyebrow shape that I want to get, but I like this. That was super quick and easy to use. Now let's go ahead and move on to a mascara. It is called Clean Lash. It is a lengthening mascara. It says your go-to mascara for every day. It tints, lengthens, and lifts lashes with no smudging ever. Okay, we're gonna have to see about that. That's a bit of a statement. It says what it is: an everyday mascara that defines, separates, and lengthens lashes for a wide awake look. Made to distribute the perfect amount of product. Our precise brush curls and lifts, never clumps or flakes. Easy to remove with warm water and cleanser to protect lashes from the pulling and harsh removers required by most smudge-proof mascaras. Alright, so there is initial application of the mascara. I feel like it helps to lengthen the lashes a little bit, gives it a little bit of volume. Obviously, I'm gonna have to test it out and see if it really lives up to the claims to not smudging ever, because that's a very bold statement. But also, I wanna do something a little extra here and try applying the Flush Balm also to the lids for a little bit of something extra, give a little tint to the lids. Like pretty much most mascaras do on me, at least pretty much most of the clean beauty mascaras that I have tried. My lashes are not holding that curl. Nothing surprising there. Y'all know that happens to me a lot. It's not anything extra exciting, I guess. Nothing, not a super special mascara. Just with initial try, first impressions, it's not doing anything like extra exciting to me. It's not really impressing me a whole lot. It's also partly due to just probably my lashes, and my lashes just don't seem to hold a curl. Probably not fault to the mascara, that's just my eyelashes. Lastly is their shade Slick, which is a tinted lip oil. It says a slick of sheer color infused with rosehip oil and shea butter for healthy lips all day. I have this in the shade All Natural, which is described as a warm cream recommended for fair to medium skin tones. So very similar shade to the Flush Balm that I got. This is somewhere between an oil and a light stain. This lip tint was made for whenever and wherever. Repeated use helps to maintain natural moisture levels in lips over time. So it has a rosehip oil and omega-3, 6, and 9 essential fatty acids, which encourage healthy barrier function and provide antioxidant benefits. It has shea butter and grapeseed oils to help condition and soften the lips, and jojoba oil, which creates a protective barrier to help to lock in moisture. So I think the packaging of this is super pretty. Again, it is small, so I feel like this is great for just throwing in your purse, great for travel. Just has your typical, your regular like doe foot applicator. Yeah, this color goes really well with the Flush Balm in the shade Terracotta. I feel like it just goes really well. Definitely that pigment showed up more, the Flush Balm pigment showed up more on my eyelids than I feel like it did on my cheeks. Maybe I'll have to apply a little bit more. But yeah, okay, this definitely is a very moisturizing lip gloss, lip oil, lip tint, whatever you want to call it. It does say it's described as a tinted lip oil. Feels super comfortable on the lips. It feels like a treatment almost more than it does like a lip gloss. I mean, I feel like a tinted lip oil is a very good description of it. Feels really comfortable on the lips, super moisturizing. I feel like this is definitely one that I'll use a lot. Just my kind of lip product. That is basically it, but I do want to add a little bit more of the Flush Balm, see if I can get a little bit more pigment. Is it gonna gross you guys out if I just apply it straight to my cheeks? I don't know, I kind of want to do that, but I'm just gonna take my fingers, I guess. I'm just gonna try to build up that pigment a little bit more. Okay, yeah, that definitely built up that pigment more. There, now you can see that blush color more. There we go, that's better. I think I just didn't apply enough the first time. I'm gonna try to apply a little bit more of the highlighter as well. The highlighting balm, this is again in the shade Bounce. All right, so this is the finished look. Definitely very glowy, definitely very dewy. Like I was saying when I was applying these products, if you like that like glowy, no makeup look, kind of like that just very skin-like appearance, I think you would probably really enjoy these products, like all the base products, because like that blush, the Flush Balm is very, very dewy, gives a little bit of a tint, very much, and remember it's not super pigmented, but it just gives a very minimal amount of tint, just a little bit of a tint. And then that highlighter, if you don't want something that's glittery or really has much shimmer to it, I think that you might like this one. Like the name of it, it is a highlighting balm. It just looks very dewy and glowy, like you just put on a little bit of oil. So it looks super natural. I think the packaging is really pretty, great for traveling. I feel like all of these products together is making my skin look really healthy. Even though I do have hyperpigmentation and some active breakouts, I feel like it looks quite skin-like, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like my skin is just looking pretty youthful and glowy, and I'm honestly way more impressed with the minimalist stick, which is that like foundation and concealer stick. I'm way more impressed with this than I thought I would be, because it's like a stick foundation. I feel like normally those can look kind of cakey, but once I applied it with my fingers, I feel like it looks pretty good on the skin. It's a very natural, glowy makeup look. If that's your kind of thing, I think you'll like these. If you guys are interested in checking out any of these products, I'll have everything that I talked about listed and linked in the description box below. Also, let me know what you guys think about these products in the comments below. I would love to know your thoughts if you have tried them, or even if you haven't tried them. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Let me know if there are certain things that you are the most interested in trying. And of course, if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to let me know and ask me in the comment section below. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And if you guys do want to continue to see more content from me, I'd love for you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all for my next video. Bye guys.